everybody? Welcome back to Erudition Generations, where we are open to comments. Today's topics were picked, well, topics is new, but today's topics were picked by this goofy and the Christmas freak. I don't know why there's still Christmas decor in your room,
I just
Anthony.
like Christmas. I'm not too much of a freak.
And we can barely hear him.
Yeah, I don't know what's
That's a
going on
good.
with this microphone.
Maybe you should check like what mic you're on. You could be on your computer.
Yeah, if
Please make
anything,
sure
that
you're on.
out for me.
Please make sure you're on the right mic. But anywho, today's topics were picked by me and Sean Anthony. We got some comments. Papa, you can hold the mic to you if it's bad. Hello, mom.
I
Hello.
don't know if that's gonna work because, in all honesty, it's just, or maybe it did. Hmm. Did y'all hear me any
Uh,
better?
yes. Yeah, much better. Yeah, but if you are questioning if you should or should not comment, remember we this is an interactive. Yes, this is an interactive,
Yes,
and
it's
our motto.
interactive video.
I don't remember all of our motto, but one part of it is to be understanding. So don't be afraid, even if you make a spelling error. We won't point and laugh at you. I can't say much for him or even him, but I won't laugh at you. What's over there? We chose the topics of, well, I was on depression because it's a very serious time for people right now because I didn't know just how bad it was until I was talking to some people, but depression is really out here right now. And then Sean Anthony brought up the fact of food, and then together we went into the whole comfort food and why that's not a good idea, Sean Anthony. So
What you mean?
hold on,
Comfort
Ted.
food
It's
is
not
a
a good
good
idea.
idea.
Hold on, Teddy. I gotta over when you overdo it, that would be a problem. I don't think it was
Yeah, I
so
probably.
delayed that
Yeah, there it is. It only took
that
two misfires of the spell.
all right. But if you haven't already, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, comment, and even if it's after the video, when the live is over, make sure you still comment. Make sure you follow our Facebook, Twitter, which is now X, Twitch, and TikTok. Well, you might not have to check that TikTok part because it might be getting shut down. But if maybe, we don't know. But if you're enjoying the streams, make sure you go to our Cash App down below, which is right now going around. All right. Yes. Anything that you give to us will be helpful for us in the future. Yeah. Now, can we introduce the topic? Sure. You have full permission by me. Thank you.
Legal
Sean,
permission. Now that's one heck of a thing, Ted. You taking this for granted. And to believe that the first things you say with legal permission is how bad comfort foods are. Shame on you
I
for
didn't
such a
say
statement.
bad. I said why that might not be a good idea because we tend to overdo that. Yeah, because
Comfort
especially
food is wonderful under any circumstances. Even if you have too much of it. I don't care what you say. When I see oodles of noodles of instant noodles in an aisle, my heart jumps for joy because at last I have found the place that I should be.
yes, Papa, but you do have to be understanding that some comfort foods, if you indulge too much in it, will give you as health problems. It's just overall together health problems, and depending on how great, because it's a comfort, and when if you're there's an epidemic of depression out here that is on the rise. I've been that to the point that people in my circle of friends they talk about it. It's like, yeah, man, I just ain't been feeling too good. I ain't been in it. I just laid in bed for 13 hours and it was just like, this ain't it. It's that bad. And then when you go You know what will make it better though? You know what I can get out of bed for? Some food. I can do that for
I
food. But
mean,
then when you go and lay back down, then you got all that energy. You ate all that energy, but emotionally you're not gonna move. You're not ready, so you're not gonna be moving around. And then you gain weight, and then you further add to the sadness of I'm sad that I'm overweight, but I'm happy when I eat. Yes, but sometimes you have to understand that's the only way for
that's
people to
where I
actually
should be
feel okay.
among my people.
Sometimes comfort food is the only thing people can resort to.
Yeah, but at the same time, think about it like this: comfort food isn't just instant warm up of foods. It's also actually cooking. Guess what? You feel bad. You really don't want to get out of bed, but you'll get out of bed to go ahead and make a like some soul food. Guess what? You got out of bed.
Let me tell you, a lot of people that I was talking to when this came up is 13 hours in bed. I don't know where they get the time to do that anyway, but 13 13 hours in bed, you're not doing anything. And then
I would
how
say,
does that help? Oh, I'm going to get up out of bed. I'm going to feel better. That's not helpful.
well, it is incredibly helpful. Think about it. If you're in bed and you're like, man, I really just don't want to move, but you're willing to move for one thing, that motivation could go ahead and
Uh,
move
no,
on.
just switch mic. We're still here. Papa, is our mic coming in okay for you?
Yeah, a bit right now.
It's not going in and out.
Nope.
All right. Uh, cause yeah, that's something I need to know, so I appreciate it. But yes, when you if you're sitting there at 13 hours in bed or just laying in bed, period, what is, a lot of people ain't gonna be driven to go today. I guess I can get out of bed to make some soul food. Now, if that's you, good on you. But I again, that will go into the part of over the possibility of overindulging because I won't say that everybody does. But when you say I'm gonna just get out of bed to make food, a lot of people don't do that. They just go, nope, I'm not doing anything
What do you
today.
mean, Teddy? Don't you know the game The Sims? That's
Let,
exactly what people do.
let me give you a little bit of advice. Snap you advice. Don't lay down all the time. I mean, if you're laying down for like 10 hours or because you were sleeping, if that's okay. But if you lay down all day and night, 10 hours.
Who is sleeping for 10 hours? I hate to tell you, but my internal clock instantly wakes me up before too long. If I'm laid out for 10 hours, then there is something critically wrong.
Oh, yes. I
Yeah,
don't think you did address the Elliot situation. Yes, Elliot was not feeling too well today. Been having some issues for the last couple of days with
yeah, it's probably
stomach.
something to do with
That's
allergies.
also well,
You know,
yeah,
shit
allergies,
like these.
stomach, and
Actually, you
that
know what?
also
I'm gonna
from
say it's
that
most
also
likely not allergies. You know what it is? It's the constant weather fluctuations. I mean, it's supposed to be spring. Meanwhile, we got snow all up over here.
and
Do you
that
realize how absolutely insane that is? I can't even grow my crops during this time because of the fact that it's so cold.
right.
Imagine putting your pepper plant outside and you're like, this is wonderful. And then you come back and it's snow.
Like, we can see that right now with weather and tornadoes because we know that tornadoes spawn when it's a mixture of hot and cold air and they collide and then well that's the what they say it is anyway. I think it has other values and aspects to it, but that's the gist of it. Warm fronts, cold front meet, and then it spawns perfect tornado conditions. I dropped something. Dad says 9 to 10 hours is recommended for master.
Yeah, but
Okay,
let's
that
be
makes
honest. What
because
what what
we did
place?
sleep a
Now,
lot.
hold on. What place gives you enough time to have 9 to 10 hours of sleep? Let's be honest.
At his
Ain't
at his
nowhere.
age,
No,
at his age,
yeah, but not even
you get
school is
off
giving you
school
much time to sleep, Teddy.
again.
You
You
gotta
get off
realize that.
school. If you get off school, you do your homework, which isn't supposed to take that long. You get out of school at 3. By the time you finish up and eat dinner, it would probably be around 7 or 5, and then that leaves you free time to do whatever. If you go to bed at around, you can go to bed early at 7,
Yeah,
or you can go to bed
that's what
at
a child
around
wants to
10.
do. They want to
But
get out of school, do their
either way, that's
homework,
what
and
it is.
instantly
So
go
you
to sleep.
can do that. Because some people, they prefer to be sleep. So comfort food, like mom says, comfort food is easily accessible. So it is easy to get food and lay down or sit down until the next meal time. And
I
that is
don't think that's a
exactly true.
comfort food. I think that's more of a snack. If you're sitting down, if you're like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and eat this meal, and it's gonna satisfy my hunger until the next meal. I think
Well,
that's
let's
more
go.
of a
That
snack.
determines what a comfort food is. What's a comfort food to you? What name and people in the comments that are here, name some of the comfort foods that you like to indulge in. For me, it was chicken corn boots. You can't do that too
Oh,
often though, because
yo.
chicken breast, cheese, and ham. If you eat that too many times, you're gonna have problems.
Teddy, I hate to tell you, but the unholy reunion of meats. Whoever thought of wrapping chicken in ham, then put cheese in it, and then for some bizarre reason put a crunchy exterior over all of that?
It's fried.
I am
It's
more.
fried chicken. You can't put it on there. It's fried chicken. So then he's inside of it, and then ham. You said ham wrapped in chicken. I don't know what that is. That ain't chicken
That's
corn.
exactly how I view it. Nah, that is
But
exactly how I view it.
some people's comfort food. One of them, what they had said was cheesecake. Cheese. And
Jeez,
we all know that you shouldn't be doing too much cake. Yeah, but
what you mean?
here's
Teddy?
side
Cake is
math
perfect.
tips. Here's side math tips to get you out of whenever you need comfort food. I'll give that after this comment. Leftover food is like a comfort food. You know it is there and it's tasty, but you also know that
It
if
depends.
it's there, I might just eat it because. Yeah, but to make sure you don't run out of food because you're eating so much to comfort yourself, here's 5 Matthew tips that I do sometimes. I don't know why I held up the pen.
Nah, Matthew, what you're forgetting here is co- leftovers are good comfort food if it's after Thanksgiving. Then you don't have to worry about it running out at all. Because guess what? That
It'll be more than
Thanksgiving
enough to eat.
leftover food is nah. Hold on. That Thanksgiving leftover food is breakfast, lunch, and dinner for several days. You hungry? Hungry for breakfast? You still got some leftovers. You hungry for dinner? You still got some leftovers.
True,
Guess
that is
what?
true.
You
But
hungry
but
for a little late night
so you have
snack? Get yourself some milk and some peas. That's good enough for you.
say milk and some peas.
Yeah.
So,
What? You
so
never
make
watch?
sure you have
What? You
room
never
for
watch those
later.
old cartoons where they have milk with every meal?
Yeah, and when were those cartoons back in the 1920s through 40s?
Back when
We're
milk
not
was
doing that
good.
no more. We're not doing the milkman visits of here's your milk.
Matthew,
What
let me ask you, Matthew. Do you think milk is a good idea for every meal to drink with every meal?
unless your name unless your name is Santa Claus.
But Matthew, it helps you build. It helps you with calcium. It helps you build your strong
Calcium.
bones that you need.
It helps you with calcium and fat, but still, and you can use that milk for milk, anything. It does help with bones, but it's still a percentage of fat in that. If you having it with every meal, I
Oh,
don't know. That ain't
please. There's
milk.
fat in almost everything you eat nowadays. No, I will never stop drinking milk. Milk is made for me to drink.
Under the frame.
Cereal and milk,
Mm.
oatmeal and milk, cookies.
Oh, we've been good
Hey,
for
what's
Will.
going on?
We've been good.
You've been good?
Just
I've been better.
so I answered. Well, Elliot,
I'm telling everybody how milk is good to drink when
and
you're
maybe
having
it's because he was drinking milk. Maybe that's why.
Maybe Elliot drunk the spicy milk. That's an inside joke.
It is.
inside joke. I
Remember that one time when he drunk presumably spicy milk?
nah, you know
Yeah, that's
what?
an
That
inside joke with
reminds
him,
me.
and that's
If
probably
you
what
get out,
got him in
hold on.
trouble.
If you get out of bed and you do go make yourself some food, do not. There's two rules I have: never cook when you're too tired, and never cook when you when your emotions are high. Never cook when you're angry or incredibly sad, because you know what's gonna happen. Everything you do in that kitchen is going to be based around that emotion. And you're gonna be making some food, and
Tired
out
of
of
it.
nowhere, you're gonna be like, man, why is this
No, that
taste? Why
is
does this
true.
look so weird? Why is this happening? Because you were
Because let's think
lazy
about it.
and you didn't care, or you were angry or sad, and you were just like, well, I'm just gonna do this.
Exactly. But you got to think about it, Matthew. Same thing here. If you're going around cooking in the kitchen and then you're angry or or sad and your mind is in other places, focusing on the things that make you feel that way, then you start skipping out on important things to cook in the kitchen. And Lord help you if one of them was, I forgot to turn the gas off.
Oh no,
I
I'm
don't
not
think,
talking about it for people's own safety.
but
I'm
you
talking
might
about it
forget to
because
season things or other things like that.
Yeah, yeah, but
nah,
here's
bro.
my
I'm talking
here's
about it
my
for my
final
own
tip.
personal ness.
Yes.
Because in all honesty, you
Oatmeal.
don't understand. Seeing
Yes.
somebody make a creation that's obviously nasty and stuff, and they're like, "This is absolutely tasty." It helps me get through all these times. It's like, nah, bro.
No,
Go
that's
talk to
what we
someone.
call pregnancy
That's a
craving.
food abomination.
Like I remember when Mom was going through her pregnancy cravings, and that's what started the yogurt and milk trait right there.
All right, but let me get
Again,
No, it's
to
again
my
going with
advice.
milk
thing.
because it started with 'cause Elliot was still little, so he was eating that. But then Mom was drinking that as well. It was a lot of milk being used, and then yogurt. It was now thinking about that. That probably it. It must have been great because they loved it. But
Oh God, no.
I still believe that was a pregnancy craving or an accident. Somebody poured in milk and then yogurt and went, yeah, that's
Uh,
good.
let's be honest. That entire trend was started because somehow Matthew and Elliot as babies were like, you know what's a good combination? Milk and yogurt. And it was like, that is, and there wasn't even any, it was a specific type of yogurt. So it's like, you are drinking a specific type of yogurt along with some milk. And it was the equivalent of, man, this is
Yep.
weird.
I don't judge people's comfort food because even like Mom says, comfort food isn't always sugary. Like even with mine, it's not really any sugar unless you put it on there. It's the fried chicken breast is really more
My
protein than
five
anything.
tip.
But it's also
My five.
it could also be like
Wait,
salad.
is my five tips to avoid eating comfort food is drink a lot of water. Now that should fill you up a little bit. If that doesn't make it, just don't try to eat anything. Think about your emotions, and if it still isn't going away, tell that devil he's a lie. That could work too.
I mean, to
Pray,
be fair, Becky,
fast, but
those are
there's
some good ideas, but uh, drinking water ain't gonna help you. In all
oh,
honesty,
it
Matthew,
does.
let me tell you something like this. When you're in school, let's say you're in school and you forget to eat lunch or breakfast, and lunch is your very next meal. Soon as you drink that water, and that water hits your belly, your empty stomach, it feels like a weight, and and now you got to carry that around until you eat.
That he just proved the point. He said it would make you feel fuller. It's to make you.
No,
It's
it
not that
does
you
not.
feel.
What it makes you feel is somewhat sick because water it's not supposed to be in the belly, my friend. No, that water is about to get filtered out quickly. You gonna drink that water, and your stomach is gonna be like, "This is water. Send this off to the
Yeah,
kidneys.
that was
This,
a good
what's
five
wrong
tips.
here."
And here's why, Sean Anthony, with the whole don't be doing. I mean, you can't be doing water like that. It's water. It's gonna go into your stomach. Everything that goes through your mouth into the esophagus and down, it goes into the stomach. That's what it does.
Trust, I know it goes into the stomach. I just
Water
know that
helps
it's not going
people
to
digest food and nutrients better. Yeah. And that's why you drink water. A lot of people are dehydrated as well. That is a real study that people have found a certain percentage of people they are very dehydrated. They don't drink that recommended amount of water for at least five cups.
Yeah, it's like I say, Teddy. If you're not as clear as water after drinking it for several days with no food, then I don't know what to tell you.
Here's what you get some vitamin D in the sun. Here's one good thing to know about out your waste. Well, not your waste. No, but your pee. So if it's yellow, drink more water. If it's clear, it's gonna be all day. That's gonna be. But you're dehydrated, but you're gonna be all day.
What's going to happen.
You're gonna be running every 2 hours.
Good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah, sure, it's a good thing. All until you're
if you got the
sitting
time
there in the house with other people, you're going like, someone's in the bathroom.
Yeah, you got, especially if you ain't got the time, because when people they work, like for people your age, that could work. You're not really doing. Yeah, you're not really doing anything.
People not my age, that
Yeah,
might
but
not be
bright
a good
yellow,
idea.
bright yellow.
But even still, could you imagine going every 2 hours at school? I need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, that is not going to fly at all.
Yeah, but now we're getting a little bit off topic. We need to go back.
We we're discussing food. Are you trying to get us off topic again?
In fact, hold on. I can get us back on topic. Consume vitamin D in the sun. You know what I'm going to say about this? I will say this. Vitamin D is wonderful. In fact, it's the greatest vitamin you can get. And being in the sun is definitely the best way to get it. But you know what? I will say this out loud for everyone. There is one thing I hate. Eating outside. For you do not understand. Do you realize how absolutely unappealing it is for me to be sitting outside eating and then out of nowhere there is bugs trying to get all up in my food? Literal mosquitoes and flies just trying to land on my perfect sandwich and
ruin my experience. Well, Pablo, a way you can fix this is buying the Erudition around the skin. It has one opening. What's the imaginary product that you? It has one opening at the mouth where you can perfectly. No.
You really trying to sell something that don't exist, huh, Matthew?
I don't even think some of those things will fly on a Shark Tank. Just instantly get booted off. But I get what you're saying about the whole outside philosophy, but I understand outside diners, and that's probably why they have those umbrellas. If you ever sit under restaurants that have those umbrellas, you can see little rods in them. Those are usually the bug repellent. Now, does it keep them all away? No.
I'm not solely talking about eating outside and outside diners. I'm talking about that fairy tale that came up in almost every kid's show of, let's go for a picnic. A picnic is the worst idea in all the history of the world. A picnic was a made-up assumption that life was good because you sit on a blanket, you enjoy your food, and then there's an army of fire ants just deciding, perfect. Then you have a bunch of bees and angry wasps mixed in, so you can't tell which one is which, and then the hornets come.
Well, Papa,
I do feel you for that wasp.
Papa,
I
something
don't like
that I recommend.
I don't like the wasp.
Something that I recommend, since Tay doesn't like me recommending items that don't exist. Just buy a bug net and surround your area.
They don't carry it with you and just start
That's the
putting
thing
it
about
everywhere.
it. They've created so many. This is what I say about that. They've created so many things to make it so that bugs do not ruin your outside experience. But let me ask you, if they worked, why would there be so many? You would only need one solution. This crap don't work. You're gonna be sitting here like, I've got this mosquito necklace that scares them away. And you're sitting there and then a mosquito lands right on that necklace and it's like, yeah, you thought.
All right then. All right then.
Yeah,
Just get some glass.
but I do feel that you don't have to go. He said go consume vitamin D in the sun. You went, let's go eat outside. And let me tell you, it is a lot more out there just in general.
Yeah.
Not just the bugs, but people.
And
That's just
and going outside.
nah.
Going outside when you need comfort is also a good thing
Yeah,
that you can do.
look, I ain't got a problem with bees. Bees,
Yeah, I ain't got a problem with
I
bees
know
either.
I know they stick to flowers. It took me a while to understand that.
I don't
And
like
then, but ants, yeah, they can be a nuisance. But wasps, I don't know what's the vendetta with wasps. But every time,
Wasps
just
are
every
the
time
only two I got a problem with.
they never they're relentless. Like I don't know what their beef is. I didn't do nothing to them, and it's sad because we're running around. We're
Well-
coming around spring now.
well, Betty, some
So
hey, I can tell you
spring
what
is
you did.
coming. So we're going to be running into them again. We know we have them in the area. I don't know how. That's what we're going to be dealing with.
I can look 24/7
Because
and at that store.
you consume vitamin D by getting in the sun, and I encourage you be active. You will find that happy hormones are released when you are active. If you go outside, you skate, or you going for a drive. For those of you that have licenses or jobs or anything that you go out there for a drive, clear your head. You sit outside, or you
I
moving
would say
outside.
go
You're
outside
consuming
and
vitamin D, and you're actively trying to. You will find yourself being happier, not needing to go into comfort food, so that you actually eat when you're actually hungry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
hate
hey,
to
what
tell
are you
you,
gonna
bro,
tell
but if
those depressed people? What are you gonna tell them?
Uh,
You go outside,
just
get over it.
just that. You tell them you need to encourage. If you're depressed, you need to encourage people to take action, even if you're the only one that's talking to those people. Because
Yeah.
there's some people that I talk to, and it's like, well, I've
Or
just been
some
down.
help.
No, that ain't gonna help. You try and actively help them and be like, look, man, I'm here for you. You need somebody to talk to. Because a talk goes a long way, I can tell you.
All right.
You never know what somebody might need. So go ahead, talk to them, get to encourage them, and be like, hey, man, you can do this. Go out here and play. I'll still be here.
I'm going to get very serious now. Depression is not a joke. So let me actually give some tips.
And I was trying to address it, but you keep cutting me off.
what do you mean? He wasn't cutting you off. In fact, he was giving good advice. Because in all fairness, if you are feeling sad, if you're feeling real bad, you know what? You need to remember there are hornets out there that will absolutely enjoy the fact that you feel pain because they will go out of your ways. Because guess what? Dad may say that he dislikes bees. I do not. A bee flew right in my face during recess one day. And you know what? That thing didn't even sting me. That thing quite literally looked me in my eyes, flew away. And I'm like,
Because
you know,
said I
you,
dislike
you
bees and kill as many as I can because they kicked off a war when he was younger, and he just never forgot. That right there is a vendetta. That
nah, you know what? A vendetta against bugs. You should not have no vendetta against any other bug other than a fly. Flies have
Oh, so
the
spiders are
audacity.
not.
Nah, spiders are somewhat fine. They're creepy, but that's about it. In all honesty, you want to be. Let's be honest. You cannot be angry at a spider because as soon as you see a tarantula crawling up to you, your dislike is replaced with instant fear. You do not dislike it. You absolutely
How did we
are
get into?
against the existence.
How did we get into the topic of insects?
Because Matthew, food involves all things. And do you know what some people, I mean, everything has to eat. And just as I said, so do flies. And flies eat poop water and crap and then have the audacity to land on my good food and wipe their hands together as if they're about to take a good bite out of it. Like
I
I'm
think
going
that's
to
what they're
allow.
doing. But then, did you all hear the news about having more bees this year? They are coming.
Yes.
Also, massive cicadas. Yes, I heard about the cicadas. That's going to be
Well,
that's going to be wonderful. Well, if you want to be protected against the bees, make sure you buy the Erudition. No,
No,
or
you know
the
what? You
every
want to against bees? Buy a beekeeper suit or make one from scratch.
and
Then
you just gonna
you
walk
can go
around
ahead
with it
and
all
go
the time
on for those beautiful picnics
and have it.
that you love so much.
You don't. You, you talk of a beekeeper sitting there having a picnic and then there's in a flowery field and there's just no bees around.
talking
They
about
ain't bothering him. They ain't even looking his way. But he's just sitting there on a blanket with a basket eating several sandwiches in a whole beekeeper outfit and eating like
Teddy,
this,
Teddy,
trying to get under the net.
Teddy, you don't understand. A sandwich is impossible to eat as a beekeeper. You have to remove too much of your soup. Imagine this. He's sitting there eating berries, all sorts of berries, an alignment of berries, strawberries, blueberries, all those.
Mm-hmm.
That removes less of the soup.
Don't eat outside. Good. That's how you solve your issue. It wasn't even about getting outside. It was about getting some exercise, trying to
What
make
do you mean?
yourself
That's
feel
not
better so
comfort
you
right
feel
there, though.
comfortable.
Think about it like this. Do you realize how good, because that goes into one of my things, do you realize how good it is to cook food in front of you? To actually cook your own food.
till the bird comes in and
Well,
on
yeah,
your food
because I
and
enjoy it.
your dog
Some
and your
people they
No,
don't
neighbor.
like they don't like going through the hassle of doing that, but I enjoy it.
exactly. Imagine go ahead cooking your own egg and stuff, all sorts of food like that. Feels good, don't it?
Yeah, to me, I enjoy cooking. But you know that. We all know that.
So then
Well,
imagine this. Somebody gives you an alignment of meats and other stuff that's been marinated and everything, and right in front of you is a stove top. And they're like, you cook your own food. And then they just walk away and you have coals and everything in front of you to cook your own food, to do whatever you so
fantasy.
desire. Simple. I speak to you of what I like, a hot pot and grill. And do you know
You
why
don't
that's
know
a
how this helps people that are feeling down. That they might not want to go out and do that, but I get it. It does
whoa?
feel good, and that might overwhelm. That might encourage you to go. Well, I know I feel good when I cook.
Well,
So I'll
Your
do that.
food
a great
transcend
food
any feelings you've had towards going out in public. You don't understand. You if food is truly what you desire and it's good and delicious, you will go out of your way to have it. Your depressed emotions will instantly be flipped off. You'll instantly feel go from sad to this is what I so desire. Have you ever been sitting somewhere and you've craved a burger or something? And you're like, man, if I had some McDonald's fries right now, I'd be happy. And then you
Yeah,
go
that's been
like,
a problem
what?
with me lately. McDonald's fries.
Exactly. Food will transcend any sort of negative emotion you have because of one thing. Your want is so much more or powerful than the emotion of I don't know if I truly should, if I truly am. And it's like your brain goes like, philosophy? Get out of here. I want food.
So that's what I'm talking about. We can't just go and keep our troubles away. That's not going to help.
Well,
That's
let
why
me say
you Yeah,
let
go
me
ahead.
say this. Did you know your favorite food actually could get changed? Because I don't know if this is fully true. Do not take my word seriously. Do your own research. But apparently, some company in the past on the clip made did some major project and ended up causing a lot of Mandela effect. Like the most iconic one is the fruit of the loom symbol, where there was that one
The Mandela
round.
effect has been going around for a long time.
Yeah, but
Massive.
it caused a massive wave.
Yeah, the Fruit of the Loom one is not is just as
I mean,
common.
to be fair,
In fact,
there is
what
Mandela
really what the
effect out
Mandela
Yeah,
effect
but they're doing this. They're doing another project, like the world's fastest. It's L something something, and where it's going to actually be crazy. The last time they did,
you know what the
the last
Mandela
time
effect is
when
with
they
me?
did something like that, at the skies parted ways and the sun started shining down on it while the eclipse was still going.
Here's the thing, Matthew. What with the Mandela effect? The Mandela effect was the origination of that was when Nelson Mandela had went to jail. A lot of people had thought, oh, he's either still in jail. Some people thought he was dead. Others, but then they figured out, no, he's alive. He's just old. He's around. He got out of jail years ago. That didn't happen. Now that he's passed, it's like, okay, no, he's still here. Mandela effect is really just human interpretation of not paying attention. Because
yeah.
it's a lot of people that don't know Flintstone from Flintstone. They forget the T, but if you're older, you realize no, it had a T. Some people, the common one, even with the Marvel symbol, is that they think that the red is a red and white box with red words, not white. That's a common thing too. It's really just your brain's interpretation of forgetting details over time unless constantly reminded. Commonly, the Bernstein bear is Bernstein, not Bearstein.
Yeah, but another interesting thing is that April 8th, the day of the eclipse, will be happening on Mom's show. So hopefully, April 8th. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so either Mom will stream or she won't until end
Is
up
that in
moving
our
it.
area though? Because eclipses happen
Yeah,
different
imagine you
in
going like,
different states.
yes, the eclipse is
But
happening.
Indiana just had one
Weapons
as
out
well.
there.
They had one, and you have I can't see the comment anymore. Oh, yeah, Papa. That's called gluttony.
No, it's
I'm
not
just
called
going.
gluttony. It's called
It's called gluttony.
overriding your desires. Look, when you're feeling sad and you're feeling blue, you know what? You know what? All you got to do is you want to go for a long drive to feel good again. Screw that. Drive to your
80%.
local McDonald's or something. Go to your local store and pick up stuff to go home and cook it. You instantly go
Yeah,
from, man, I
it's
truly
happening
don't
all
feel
over
like it
America.
today to, man, this is truly amazing. You don't
It's
understand.
this part.
Well, Teddy, remember when we watched that mighty cruise ships?
Wait, where?
You know what my favorite part in that was?
The favorite part of what?
In that show, Mighty Cruise Ships. Do you know what my favorite part in that was?
The indoor restaurants.
Maybe if it happens at 5.
Wrong. You see, I did like the indoor restaurants, but that was only the Italy episode. In all honesty, awesome, truly magnificent. But you know what? The one thing I loved was the fact of people going to was one dude going to grocery stores to pick stuff up. You understand? A grocery store to me is like heaven because what you see is all the
Oh,
possible
I
ideas
know.
laid out in front of you.
Yeah, when
It's
he
a
went to go pick up fresh fish and whatnot for everything, and they stock it for
mm,
the whole strip.
It's a wondrous
Hey,
place and all.
hey, Grammy Riri, glad to see you.
Hey, what's going on, Gregory?
So,
We're doing well.
yeah, so y'all skipping Mom's show for an eclipse? No.
No,
I
it'll just
get
be
the
happening in the background. We'll all take a second. Mom will be like, "Oh, look outside," and then what we'll do is we'll stand up and look outside and
oh
give
yeah,
a
that we
moment of
don't
silence.
look at an eclipse. Yeah,
What do you mean? That's what they're for. Do you not look
hold on,
eclipses?
Papa. So, there's now deer. There's many people in truck. There are now deers. There's where you can actually find it in your most recent or nearby freaking gas station where there are basically 3D glasses, but for the eclipse. Yes, you can go and purchase them. You don't go unprepared. Oh, I forgot my glasses. Yeah. So make sure you get that. And if you are unsure that they are real and you're going to go blind, remember when you put the glasses on, you won't be able to see anything but black or the eclipse. Yeah,
I almost
that's how
got
they
you.
work.
In all
They're
honesty,
called blackout glasses. Blackout glasses.
but
And
but,
look at
but Teddy, I don't need them. You see, how do you think I got these glasses? One day an eclipse happened on a playground, and I was like, beautiful. And out of nowhere, my eyes, I woke up and there was glasses on me. That's it. That's just how it happened.
we are not going to see a total eclipse. We're not in the path of that view. Oh, yeah. You will see a partial eclipse where the sun will be partially cut off. And it might seem as like a cloud to you. We haven't had a full solar eclipse since, what was it? 2019? No, I think it was somewhere in 2017. Because as Dad had mentioned, former presidents looked at the solar eclipse because it was all over the news how he's so fearless. He just looked into the thing. Yeah, but I fear my eyes.
I mean, to be
I know
fair,
that I'm going to
command. Hold on, if you're going to command an army and an entire nation, you got to be fearless. You got to look at that sun and at that moon and say, "I'm not afraid of you." As glasses suddenly appear on your face.
Right, when the full solar eclipse happened for us, all it was is that it didn't like go completely dark where the sky was black. You could see rays and it was kind of reddish. That was that's what it would look like, and it's also why it's encouraged that you don't look at it because but the red is pure beams of light of sunlight. Infrared concentrated into these singular beams because when you go outside, if you go outside right now and the sun is out, well, the sun is all over, no issue. When you're just seeing a concentrated beam of light, same reason that we have welders wear welding helmets, you don't want to look at that; it will blind you. So yeah.
Tell you what, then. I won't look at it. I won't look at it. I won't look at it head on. What I'll do is I'll buy some night vision glasses. I'll go ahead, look right up dang near. I'll look at the moon as it overshadows the sun.
Yeah, all right. Blackout glasses, not night vision. Yeah, night vision.
Night vision. You don't understand. You'll be able to see all the infrared colors.
Okay, Gregory. Glad to see you. Bye.
Glad to see you.
Love you too.
If you gotta go, you gotta go. See you. Oh man. But nah, for real. When it comes down to it, food is a heavy. You see, you might think, well, you covered food before. Food is never done. It's never going to be done. Because in all honesty, with how many ways there are to prepare it and with how many countries and stuff have their own specialty of it, food will never be done. You can travel to somewhere else and you will never, ever see a food that might not be different. It just depends. Are you strong enough to try it? You're brave enough?
Exactly. Don't listen to the buffoon. Do not stare into the buffoon.
I promised not to look at eclipses. I didn't promise to not look at the sun.
Even if it's going to explode. Even if it's blocked by the moon, it is still a problem.
In that case, can I
Because
look at a
let's
red
think
dwarf?
about it like this. We know that the moon, people always trying to win arguments online on the internet. Well, the moon is not really the light from the moon, it's light from the sun reflected off the moon. Given that the moon is reflecting light off the moon, and it still has a. You can take a mirror, put powder in front of sunlight or any light source, get some powder and sprinkle it down. You will see the beam of light. Take a mirror and put it in front of that beam of light. You will literally see the beam bend off of the mirror. Same thing happens with the moon, except it's much higher. The sun is direct white light, so it's all spectrum lighting. And you look into it, and it's a direct beam of light that's bouncing off of the moon, the reflected surface of the moon. So now all those UVB rays, all that infrared rays, is now going into your eye, and you're wondering, but they said it would be fine.
No,
No,
I tell you, I don't believe that. I believe in one thing: the moon is illuminated because of companies. One day you're gonna look up at the moon and you'll see the 7-Eleven logo and you'll realize it hasn't been the sun at all. It's just been an illuminated 7-Eleven.
The thing is that the reason that we know that it causes blindness because same thing as Dad said, UVB rays damage the cones and rods in your eyes. It can cause cataract, which is the weakening of those cones and rods and the humerus that's in your eye that lifts the liquid that's in it that starts stiffening and hardening because if no light's getting in, you don't use it, you lose it. Then it starts stiffening, and then I can't see anything. When you have issues like that, you can only exacerbate them, or you can straight up create them looking into sunlight like that. You don't look into the sun, and you definitely don't look into it during an eclipse because we knew that this happened because somebody reportedly took off the thing, looked up, and they said, "Well, it was a great sight, but I'm having trouble seeing." So it's not to say that, oh, I looked up at the sun and I just immediately black out. No more sight for me. It's a gradual loss of, I used to be able to see this far. Yeah, you did. Until you damaged your eye. Yeah, but if you are wondering where to get it protected, I think that's a problem. And they're not in your local gas station. If they're not in your local gas station, if you're looking for the blackout glasses, there is a certain let's put it like this: if the eclipse is in your path and it's only in your path for certain states, those states usually sell blackout glasses in gas stations and at local grocery stores like Walmart. Yeah, you can also get it into the party section. You can also get it from a certain company that sells slushies. That sells slushies. I will not say its name because they're not paying us. All I can tell you is it's based off of a blue hedgehog. I will not say their name either because they have not paid us.
If you think that,
I think it's understood now, though.
Yeah.
So thank you for clearing that up. The damage caused by the sun and the eclipse is permanent and cannot be repaired. Don't worry about jokes used to make you less afraid of natural events. Because yeah, the eclipse is a natural event, which is a good point to bring up. And joking aside, you don't look. We all know you shouldn't be looking into direct beams of light because it's an obvious bad idea of, well, I'm going to go blind.
Well, I don't know about that because think about it like this: the eclipse is only once in every couple of years. In all honesty, I've got a better idea because you can't repair your eyes now. What you do is you look at the eclipse, you look directly at it, and then as soon as the eclipse is done, you go to your nearest place, sketchy place, and you go, I want to be frozen. And then they freeze you, and then they repair your eyes in the future, and you can go ahead and enjoy another eclipse.
or you just in the far future, or Papa, you can just do what a Futurama did, become a pizza boy, and then just fall into some chamber
Yeah,
that's
that's too complicated. Then I'll
or
have to see my
try
great
this
great
method.
grandchild.
Try this method, which is sure to work. Don't look at into the sun. No. Says AI shall repair. No, AI shall repair the heat for and nanobots. If that's the case, please make sure to take some great.
I don't want nanobots controlling anything that is connected to my brain. In all honesty, I don't need to be sitting there one day and be like, yes, and then see software update in my vision.
You know what's crazy about solar eclipses? So, since we're on the topic, and I really want to talk about it for the wrong reasons, but you can actually, just like you can see the sun in your peripheral, same thing you might be doing with the eclipse. You might be in your car. You might see a shadow cast over the sun and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's right, it's the eclipse." That's all. That's fine. Just like you might be outside, you might fall in the dirt. The sun is up, and then you get back up. You're not staring into the sun. It's not a good idea to be staring directly into the sun or directly into the solar eclipse. Like, oh, that's so great.
This is not a reminder.
You see it out the peripheral vision. Okay, that's fine. Still dry. Okay, that still is a problem. And it has been known you can go into NASA and tell them what bounces off of the moon during a solar eclipse.
Radioactive?
No, direct UVB rays. Because look, the moon.
Oh god.
All that light that you see at night and is white is white for a reason. It looks like a silvery moon for a reason. And if that light is bouncing off of the moon that is now directly in front of the Earth and is casting down, what do you think is happening?
Simple. I think it's the planets playing the ultimate game of peekaboo. What they're doing is the sun is putting the moon in front of it, and we all believe that the moon is gone. We just look like no.
Or it could be that the moon is mooning you. You want to know what I think?
No, I can't see it.
I think
the dark side.
I think the moon one day is just going to cover up the sun fully and just completely and utterly take it away from us. Take it into the far back and shoot it in the head. Leading into
imagine how horrible that would be.
What?
Leading with it's the new movie Solar Planet.
That would be an awful. That would be
That's
the worst.
A horrible movie.
That's a horrible idea. I don't want the moon to cover the sun forever. That's an awful way to go. Imagine going to a whole other freaking.
Oh, did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy the fruit and the trees? That's too bad because there's no more sunlight. So nah. And if that ever does happen, maybe it'll happen before the sun explodes. That'll definitely.
The moon finally moved after a decade, and everybody's like, "Wonderful, it's finally moved." Then we see that the sun is a red dwarf, and we're like, "Yep, we're screwed."
To be fair, it might only be a red dwarf for like 60 years, and then that'll be your time is up. I don't trust commercial glasses, and I don't think it's a good idea to stare at an eclipse, regardless. Ancient culture saw an eclipse as a bad omen because it hurts folks who didn't know better. And you know what? Yeah, that is a good point because back then you didn't know. You see that? Oh, now I got problems with eyes or bad things in general. Because
I think it was more the
if it's dark, and I mean if it's dark, what comes out at night and you have no real shelter like that?
I think animals would probably react entirely differently to that in any situation. Because imagine you are an animal, you have no understanding of anything. You just know day is when I can go ahead and rest and stuff up or go hunt things. And night is definitely the best time for me to go hunt and sleep. And then out of
Excuse
nowhere,
me.
you're exploring during the day, and then the day turns to night real fast. You are now you're incredibly scared because now your entire cycle is thrown off. You're now convinced that it's night, even though it was day like a couple seconds ago. That would be an awful thing to happen.
But I would think so. But not, however, animals are pretty smart, John Anthony.
Teddy, I don't
You
think
gotta
that
give them.
Boo Boo is sitting with Yogi and they're going like the sun's gone. That's a solar eclipse. I think that the brown and black bear are looking at each other and going like, "Is it the end of the world? Is it finally over?" And then when the sun comes back, they're like, "Oh."
All right. I would hope again. I would hope not. But I get where you're coming from. That might be because I'm not an I don't know what they might think. But don't Tony Bristol asked, didn't ancient Mayans use those moments as human sacrifices? It is believed to have happened, yes, because if I remember correctly, it was thought of as an and to prevent catastrophes, they would hold ceremonies. They, those ceremonies were thought to believe that they could have human sacrifices. However, it was thought to be time of prayer and trying to reach God and other various rituals that we might not have understood. Not just the obvious, oh, to prevent major catastrophe, let's go and kill somebody or something.
Well, Papa, since we won't be here,
The benefit, I'm trying to get to calling it,
my bad.
the
I'll let you.
benefit of solar eclipse is that we can now measure the reach of the sun's cornea. That cornea is important because it shoots out solar flares, and the power of those flares can damage the planet. It would also shut down yes, that's one of the things of damaging the planet. If a solar flare were to hit the planet, no more of this technical age would you see.
No more internet.
They until they eventually try and get it up and running again, but you would have to start from ground zero. I'm talking about you need to have copper, find more copper, mine more copper to get the electricity running again. All that wire that's running out into the ocean, that's powering everything, including routers that make our computers work, that's gone. So that would be considered a dark age for us. And that is something that you want to measure because you need to know, is it coming? How do we prevent this? How do we understand this so we can jump on it and actually
Teddy,
prepare? Because you can't stop it. Nature's going to do what it wants to do, but you can at least say, hey, we need all our technicians to understand that we're going to need all of you to rebuild.
All right, Papa, since we won't be here on April 16th, well, April 6th, how about we celebrate your birthday now? So, happy early birthday.
Thank you, Matthew. You see, I'm happy.
On his birthday.
At least the youngest knows about me. It's truly a wonderful thing. In all honesty, I only talked about food because of the fact that food is so close and dear to my birthday. In all honesty, the food is wonderful. And if you honestly thought that I was talking about food just because my birthday is close, no. I love talking about food. Food is the greatest thing that ever exists.
Now, we're going to get into the last two comments. What happens when people who get cryogenically frozen thaw incidentally and no one is around to help them out of their enclosure? Are they unalived alone? Yeah, I guess that would
No,
happen. If I was in there in the
what
freezer,
happens is you have a bunch of
right?
Mr. Freezes running around because, as we all know, when when you're cryogenically frozen, you gain the powers of Dr. Freeze, and then you have the ability to go fight a man in a bat suit. You fit the criteria now.
Right. Last comment before we get into DC heroes. Yeah, before we get into how Dr. Freeze was only in it for his wife, Nora.
Yeah, that's what he wants you to believe.
Tony, they did, but historians conflate the use of Aztec sacrifice. The Aztecs sacrificed enemies and prisoners that they thought did wrong to appease God because folks suffered from blindness after the eclipse. Which is, yeah, that is a very good question, and it's like for the insight to Dad on
I mean, to be
that,
fair,
because
that
I
is a
just
good
gave you what.
that is a good idea though. Because think about it. If something like that happens and people start going blind, wouldn't you instantly think that, maybe it's the fact that we have criminals here. Let's get rid of them. Maybe God is not happy with the fact there's criminals here.
Just said, if you're frozen, prepare for judgment. Prepare for your life.
I mean, I think as soon as you're frozen, you go meet God immediately. I don't think there is anything but beyond that.
All right, but you never
Let
really
me take this thing off.
Are you crazy? You're losing your mind, aren't you?
All right. Now that we got that done,